Good morning, student. So today we will just discuss regarding units and measurement. Now, as far as physics is concerned, what do you know about or what do you think about physics? In a physics, no doubt it is a subject of what? Measurement. Means whenever we perform any experiment, whenever we observe different phenomena while performing an experiment, remember it is the only subject, physics, in which observation of experiment is nothing but measurement of a physical quantity, and that too must be takes place accurately. So physics is a science of measurement. Performing an experiment means having an observation. Observation in physics is nothing but measurement of different physical quantities, and that too accurately. So remember, you can say one sentence that physics is, what you can say? Physics is a quantitative science. Physics is what? It is quantitative science. Physics is a quantitative science, means physics is a science of measurement. Physics is a science of measurement. Now see, in our day-to-day life, every now and then we are in need of measurement of different physical quantities. Say for example, early in the morning, we want to measure the volume of a liquid known as milk. Then when we go to a kirana shop, you want to measure weight of a sugar, weight of some other articles. Or when you are suffering from a fever, with the help of thermometer, doctors will measure the temperature of your body. Means from morning to night, different physical quantities are measured, and measurement of length, mass, time, temperature, area, volume, anything, momentum, all these physical quantities, they are measured under what? Under the supervision of our subject, that is physics. So remember that as far as measurement of a physical quantity is concerned, measuring a physical quantity means, suppose I want to measure, or I had measured the mass of a sugar, and that mass of sugar I will write it as it is equal to 3 kilogram. So measurement of physical quantity is nothing but comparison of that physical quantity with some standard measure used for measurement of that physical quantity. See what I am saying? Measurement of any physical quantity, here measurement of sugar. Measurement of what? Mass of sugar. So measurement of any physical quantity is nothing but its comparison with the standard measure. Its comparison with what? The standard measure for that quantity. So kilogram is a standard measure for the quantity, that is mass, and it was accepted internationally. So whenever we have to measure a physical quantity, it means we will simply compare that physical quantity with the standard measure used for measurement of that physical quantity and which was accepted internationally. So when I say mass of sugar is 3 kilogram, means I had expressed my measurement in terms of a number followed by certain symbol which will represent the unit used for that physical quantity. So what do I mean by a unit of a physical quantity? Unit is nothing but what? It is the standard used for measurement of any physical quantity. The standard used for measurement of any physical quantity is called the unit of that physical quantity. Is called the unit of that physical quantity. See here what I had written. The standard used for measurement of any physical quantity is called unit of that physical quantity. Or one may say that the standard measure of any quantity, the standard measure of any quantity is called unit of that quantity. Is called unit of that quantity. So remember, either you can define unit as the standard used for measurement of that physical quantity, or you may say it is the standard measure of any quantity is called unit of that quantity. So whenever we measure some physical quantity, so actually it means we are comparing our measurement with what? The standard measure which is used for measurement of that physical quantity. And every measurement, it can be expressed in terms of a number followed by a symbol. Here kilogram, it is a symbol for what? For the unit of mass, that is kilogram, which is SI unit used for measurement of mass and which is accepted internationally. It is accepted what? Internationally. So remember that as far as unit of a physical quantity is concerned, it is the standard used for measurement of a physical quantity, or the standard measure of physical quantity. It is called a unit of a physical quantity. Now, as far as the physical quantity like length is concerned, or mass is concerned, or time is concerned, what you can say? Have you heard the word length? We are measuring the length of an object in the unit known as a meter. And what is the symbol used to represent meter? It is small m. Mass of an object, it is measured in terms of kilogram or gram or pound. Time is measured in the unit of second. Temperature, it is used, or temperature is measured in the unit of what? Either degree Kelvin, degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit. Again, you know, electric current. What is the unit used for electric current? It is used in the unit of ampere. Amount of substance. In chemistry, you come across every now and then amount of substance, and that amount of substance is measured in the unit known as a mole, or luminous intensity of a light. Luminous intensity of a light, and the unit is candela. So see here, in physics we are having different physical quantities, and every quantity is measured and for measurement of every quantity, certain standard measure is decided internationally, just like length anywhere in the world. It is measured in what? Meter, mass in kilogram, time in second, temperature in degree Kelvin, electric current in ampere, amount of substance in mole, and luminous intensity in what? Candela. Luminous intensity in candela. Along with this, you also know the different physical quantities, just like area or volume or velocity or acceleration or momentum or kinetic energy or potential energy or the amount of work done. They are also expressed or they are also measured. Area is measured in meter square, volume in meter cube, velocity in meter per second, acceleration in meter per second square, momentum in what? Kg meter per second, kinetic energy in joule, potential energy in joule, work done in joule. So different physical quantities, they are having what? Different units for their measurement. Now, as far as systems of units are concerned, in the systems of unit, in 8th or in 9th or in 10th, I think it may be from 6th standard, you come across different systems of unit. One of the system of unit is CGS system. In the CGS system of unit, you know very well, what is the unit used for measurement of length? Length is measured in what? Centimeter. What is the unit used for measurement of mass of an object? Mass is measured in what? Gram. What is the unit used for measurement of time in CGS system? In CGS system, time is measured in what? Second. Another system of unit that you know very well, that is MKS system. In MKS systems of unit, length is measured in meter, mass is measured in kilogram, and time is measured in what? Second. The third system of unit, it is FPS. It is a British systems of measurement. Here F stands for foot, means length is measured in foot. P, mass is measured in pound and time is measured in what? Second. So you are familiar with these three systems of units or three systems of measurement, CGS, MKS and FPS, and till today these systems of units, they were used by major people throughout the world. But remember that as far as research work is concerned, when research work is going on certain topic, 50 years before the invention of computers, in 1971 in France, that is in Paris, 14th International General Conference, 14th International General Conference on weights and measures, takes place. And in that conference, 14th International General Conference, scientists all over the world, they gathered together, and all of them, they were suffering from the similar problem, because when research work is going on particular topic, what happens? Scientists from UK, Britishers, they uses their own system, FPS system. Scientists from India, they uses CGS system. Scientists from India, they were using what? CGS system. Or the scientists from US, America, they were using what? MKS system for measurement of physical quantity. And during the international conferences, when data were exchanged, it becomes a tedious job to convert the measurement of physical quantity in FPS system into what? Either MKS system or in what? CGS system, because it becomes a tedious process, time consuming process, which ultimately results into what? Delay in the research work. So, scientists all over the world, they had decided to adopt a single system for measurement of a physical quantity, and that international system, which is adopted by all the scientists in 1971 during their 4th International General Conference on Weights and Measure, which takes place in what? Paris, in France. They adopted some international system. That system, it is known as SI system. And what does SI means? The word SI means internationally de-unites. In French language, the meaning of word SI, it means it is internationally de-unites, means this system is adopted internationally. So, the international system of measurement or international systems of unit is called SI system, and in SI system, unit of length is meter, unit of mass is kilogram, and unit of time is what? Second. Unit of time is second. And remember, as far as this SI system is concerned, it is based on, or it is a decimal system. Because it is a decimal system, and whenever you want to convert, whenever you want to have the interconversion within the system itself, it becomes quite easy. You can reproduce it by using what? Decimal system. So, in all there are 4 systems of units are there: CGS system, MKS system, FPS system, and SI system. SI means international systems of units, which is used for measurement of all the physical quantities. So, due to adoption of SI system, now throughout the world, research work will take place only in SI system, where length is measured in meter, mass is measured in kilogram, and that of time is measured in what? Second. Time is measured in second. Now we will see that as far as some physical quantities are concerned, say for example, length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, amount of substance, intensity of light. What I am saying, there are some special physical quantities that I will write here. Length is one of the physical quantity, mass or time or temperature or amount of substance, temperature. Then electric current or amount of substance or luminous intensity of light, luminous intensity of light. See here, how many physical quantities are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and that of 7. So, in that International General Conference of Weights and Measures, scientists throughout the world, they decided that these seven physical quantities, length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, amount of substance and luminous intensity of light. These are the physical quantities which do not depends on any other physical quantity for their measurement. The physical quantities which do not depends on any other physical quantity for their measurement, they call it as a fundamental physical quantity. So in all there are 7 fundamental physical quantities are there. And what are those 7 fundamental physical quantities? Length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, amount of substance and luminous intensity of light. So if I ask you, what do you mean by a fundamental physical quantity? So how you can define the fundamental physical quantity? Those physical quantity which do not depends on those physical quantity, you may say quantities which do not depends on those physical quantity which do not depends upon the measurement of those physical quantity which do not depends on the measurement of any other physical quantities. Any other physical quantities are called fundamental physical quantities. So those physical quantity which do not depends on measurement of any other physical quantity, they are called as a fundamental physical quantity. Now, what do we mean by fundamental units? Fundamental unit. Now you know very well, unit is what? It is a standard measure of any quantity. Standard measure of any quantity is called unit. Now as far as fundamental units are concerned, the units of these 7 fundamental physical quantity are called fundamental units, or the units of fundamental quantities are called fundamental units. You know very well that as far as SI unit of these fundamental physical quantities are concerned, here what is the SI unit of fundamental physical quantity? Length. Length is measured in the unit of meter and its symbol is small m. The SI unit of mass. Mass is measured in SI unit as kilogram and it is represented by a symbol kg. Time is measured in SI unit as second and its symbol is what? S. What is the unit for measurement of temperature? Temperature is measured in what? Kelvin and is represented by a symbol degree Kelvin. Electric current, it is measured in ampere and its symbol is what? Capital A. Amount of substance, it is measured in SI unit of mole and its symbol is what? MOL, mole. Luminous intensity of light, it is measured in SI unit of candela and it is denoted by what? CD. So, as far as fundamental physical quantities and fundamental units are concerned, remember those physical quantity which do not depends on any other physical quantity for their measurement, they are called fundamental physical quantity. Those physical quantity which do not depends on any other physical quantity for their measurement, they are called fundamental physical quantities, and they are in all 7 in number: length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, amount of substance, and luminous intensity of light. These are the 7 fundamental physical quantities. And the units of fundamental physical quantities, they are called as fundamental unit. They are called as what? Fundamental unit. Now we will see that in addition to these fundamental physical or fundamental quantities, there are so many physical quantities are there as far as our physics is concerned. While studying physics, we come across the physical quantities which may be like area. Area equal to what? Length into breadth. Volume. Volume equal to what? Length into breadth into height. Velocity. What is velocity? Velocity equal to displacement upon time. Remember, as far as physics is concerned, whenever we take a ratio of some physical quantity with respect to time, here a ratio of displacement and that of time. So how to read this ratio? It is a rate of change of displacement. Whenever you write any physical quantity divided by time, it means it will represent rate of change of that physical quantity. Here rate of change of displacement, by definition, it is nothing but velocity. Displacement. How you will measure displacement? Measuring a displacement is simply means what? Measuring the length of an object divided by time. Acceleration. If I write acceleration is equal to velocity upon time, now you can define the term acceleration. Acceleration is nothing but, see here again we are having a ratio with a time in the denominator, means it is a rate of change of velocity with respect to time. Simply you can say rate of change of velocity is nothing but acceleration. Rate of change of velocity is nothing but what? Acceleration. Now, as far as the velocity is concerned, here what I can say? Velocity is a displacement upon time, and this time is already there, means here measurement of displacement is measurement of length upon measurement of time, again measurement of time. Or momentum of an object, linear momentum. Normally momentum is denoted by P, and momentum, it is a product of mass and velocity with which that object is moving. So measurement of momentum will involve, this is equal to mass into velocity, means again what? Length upon time. Length upon time. So area, volume, velocity, acceleration, momentum, potential energy mgh, kinetic energy half mv square, force mass into acceleration, work done force into displacement. So look at these physical quantities: area, volume, velocity, acceleration, momentum, kinetic energy, potential energy, work done, force. All these physical quantities, you can express the unit of these physical quantity in terms of fundamental unit. See what I am saying. What is the unit of area? Area is measured in meter square. What is the unit of volume? Meter cube. What is the unit of velocity? It is meter per second. What is the unit of acceleration? It is meter per second square. What is the unit of momentum? It is a kg meter per second. What is the unit of kinetic energy? See here, m means kg and square of velocity, kg meter square per second square. So this is kg meter square per second square. This is kg meter per second square. and work done, again it is kg meter square per second square. Now observe carefully the units of these different physical quantity. Purposely I had expressed the unit of these physical quantity in terms of what? Meter, kilogram, second, degree Kelvin, electric current, that is ampere I, or mole or candela. What are these units? These are called as fundamental unit. These are called as what? Fundamental unit. Here, whenever we are having a physical quantity like area, volume, velocity, acceleration, momentum, kinetic energy, potential energy, these physical quantity, they can be expressed in terms of some or all the 7 fundamental physical quantity. What are the fundamental physical quantity? Length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, amount of substance, or it may be luminous intensity of a light. So, the physical quantity which can be expressed in terms of some of the fundamental quantities or all the 7 fundamental quantities, these physical quantities, they are called as derived physical quantities. Derived physical quantities. So, how you can define the derived physical quantities? Those physical quantity which can be expressed in terms of some or all the 7 fundamental physical quantity, they are called a derived physical quantity. So, those physical quantity, those physical quantities which can be expressed, those physical quantities which can be expressed in terms of some or all the 7 fundamental physical quantity, all the 7 fundamental physical quantities are called derived physical quantity. What do you mean by derived physical quantity? Those physical quantities like area, volume, velocity, acceleration, momentum, kinetic energy, potential energy, those physical quantity which can be expressed in terms of some of the fundamental physical quantity or in terms of all the 7 fundamental physical quantities, they are called derived physical quantity. Now, what do you mean by a derived units? Just like fundamental units, units of fundamental physical quantities are called fundamental units. How many fundamental units are there? Only 7: meter, kilogram, second, degree Kelvin, ampere, mole and candela. Similarly, as far as the units of derived physical quantities are concerned, see here, these are all derived physical quantity, and I had expressed the unit of every derived physical quantity in terms of, see here, in terms of fundamental units: meter square, meter cube, meter per second square, kg meter per second. Now energy, you know very well what is the SI unit of energy. Energy is measured in joule, kinetic energy in joule, work done in joule, force is measured in Newton. But we can express kinetic energy, potential energy, work done in terms of the fundamental unit as kg meter square per second square, kg meter square per second square, kg meter square per second square. Similarly, SI unit of force, no doubt it is Newton, but you can express the unit of force in terms of fundamental unit as kg meter per second square. So remember, as far as derived units is concerned, what do you mean by a derived units? The unit of derived physical quantity which is expressed in terms of fundamental units are called derived units. The units of derived physical quantity which is expressed in terms of fundamental unit are called derived units. The units of derived quantity, the unit of derived quantity in terms of fundamental unit, in terms of fundamental unit is called derived unit. For example, derived unit for acceleration, it is meter per second square. Acceleration is derived quantity, and when I express the unit of acceleration in terms of what? Fundamental unit of length and fundamental unit of time as a meter per second square. So meter per second square is called the derived unit, is called a derived unit. So the unit of any derived quantity which is expressed in terms of fundamental units, they are called as what? Derived units. They are called as a derived units. Now, in addition to this fundamental unit and that of a derived units, here we will discuss two supplementary units. You know very well now that in 1971 in France, in 1971 in France, that is in Paris, during the 14th International General Conference, 14th International General Conference on weights and measurements, weights and measures. Length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, amount of substance and luminous intensity. These 7 physical quantity, they were given or they are known as a fundamental physical quantity. Scientists all over the world, they accepted that these 7 physical quantities, they are known as what? Fundamental physical quantities. In addition to those physical quantities, later on 2 more physical quantities were added. One of them is plane angle, while the other one, it is called the solid angle. One of them is called plane angle and other one, it is called as what? A solid angle. Now remember, these two physical quantities, actually they are what? The supplementary physical quantities. Plane angle, it is measured in the unit of radian, and radian is denoted by a symbol. Remember here, such type of symbol is used to measure, to represent a radian, measurement of radian. And as far as solid angle is concerned, solid angle, it is measured in the unit of stay radian, in the unit of stay radian. Now see here, we can define plane angle and that of a solid angle. So let us consider the arc ds. We are having some circle, and consider the arc ds of a circle whose radius is r. Consider a circle of radius r with point O as a center, and we are having some arc of length ds. That arc of length ds, it describes an angle d theta at the center O of a circle of radius r. Then from the knowledge of 10th standard in the mathematics, you had studied that topic of circle. This angle d theta is equal to ds divided by r. So, how you can define the term plane angle? Whenever you have to define the term plane angle is the ratio of length of arc of a circle to its what? To the radius of a circle. Ratio of length of arc of a circle to the radius of a circle is called the plane angle. Here, if I say d theta is the angle described by the arc ds of a circle of radius r, then d theta must be equal to ds divided by r. And remember, this plane angle is measured in SI unit of radian and it is denoted by a symbol like C. Similarly, just like plane angle, suppose we are having some sphere which is a 3-dimensional structure. Plane angle is what? A 2-dimensional structure which you can define in plane. But when we are having a sphere which is a 3-dimensional structure, so solid angle is 3-dimensional analogy of plane angle. So let us consider the portion of surface of a sphere, and if that portion of surface of sphere is of area dA, and let this sphere is of radius r, what we had done? We had taken a sphere, just here, suppose I am having a sphere and I had taken the portion of surface of sphere as dA. So let us consider the small portion of surface of a sphere which describes solid angle d omega, d ohm, which describes a solid angle what? D ohm at the center O of a sphere. What is the radius of sphere? Is r. What dA is? It is the portion of surface area of a sphere which subtends a certain solid angle d ohm. Then, as per definition, means when I wish to define what is the solid angle, just like in case of plane angle. Plane angle d theta equal to ds by r. Length of arc divided by radius of circle is nothing but the plane angle d theta. So here also, when I say that d ohm is the solid angle subtended by the small surface area dA of a sphere at its center, then the ratio of small surface area dA to that of square of radius of sphere is called solid angle. So now we can define that d omega is the solid angle subtended by the small portion of surface of sphere dA at the center of a circle of radius r. It is defined as the ratio of that small surface area of sphere to that of square of radius of sphere is called solid angle. Now when small area subtends small solid angle, see here the difference is that we always denote plane angle by means of an arc, represent solid angle by means of a circle. Represent solid angle by means of a circle. Now the ratio of area to that of square of radius will give you what? This solid angle. A small surface area encloses small solid angle. Now how to find out what is the total surface area, total solid angle? I want to find out the total solid angle, not the ohm. What ohm represent? Here it represent the total solid angle subtended by the whole sphere of radius r, and by definition it must be equal to area of sphere divided by what? Square of its radius. What is the area of sphere of radius r? 4 pi r square. And what is the square of radius? R square. What omega represent? Omega here it represent the total solid angle subtended by total surface area of a sphere at a point which is lying at the center of a sphere, and that is found to be equal to 4 pi. So this result is very much useful in electrostatic while you are just proving Gauss theorem. So this is all about, and remember that solid angle, it is measured in SI unit of stay radian, SI unit of stay radian. Now we will see what are the different conventions while using what? SI unit. Different conventions while using SI unit. So whenever we are using SI unit, remember that most of the students, they were making so many mistakes while writing the units of a physical quantity. So there are certain conventions are provided internationally, that whenever you are writing the SI unit of a physical quantity, what conventions that you must know. The very first convention, that unit of every physical quantity should be represented by its symbol. Unit of length is meter, and meter is represented by a symbol small m. Unit of force is Newton, and Newton is represented by a symbol capital N. Unit of time is second, and second is represented by a symbol S. The second convention, that whenever you are writing the symbol, whenever you are writing the unit of a physical quantity in full, means when full name of unit is written, when full name of unit is written, remember you must write the full name of unit. For example, as far as force is concerned, what is the unit of force? Newton. So when I write that a force of 1 Newton, purposely here, whenever we are writing the full name of unit, then always you remember that you must write that full name with what? Small letter, even though that unit is named after a person Newton. So what is sign convention? That whenever we will write the full name of a unit, we must write that full name of unit with what? Small letter, even though that unit is named after a person. But remember, whenever we will write a symbol for a unit of force is Newton, and if I use to represent a symbol for Newton, then whenever we are using a symbol for unit which is named after a person, always use a capital letter. Newton is a unit of force named after a person Newton, and when I use a symbol N for Newton, then it must be written with what? A capital letter. Joule, it is SI unit of work, and when I decided to use a symbol for the unit of work, I must write it as 1 capital Joule. J means capital N is the symbol used for the unit of force. Capital J is a symbol used to represent the unit of a work. So the third one, that it is a common mistake that when somebody says that length of that particular object is 5 meter, then most of you were talking that 5 meters. Remember, do not take plural of a symbol. You cannot say meters, kilograms, newtons. This is not the way of writing the SI unit. Even though whenever you have to write the SI unit, you must write it without plural. Don't say 20 newtons. It is only what? 20 Newton. It is 100 Newton. It is 1000 Newton. But not 20 Newtons, 100 Newtons. This is not the case. Only you avoid writing what? Plural. It is not the proper way of writing the SI unit. So while writing the SI unit, a care should be taken that you do not take the plurals of a symbols. Now the next one, symbols for unit do not contain full stop at the end. Most of you, they were writing 25 kg full stop. Do not make use of any full stop after the symbol used for the unit of some physical quantity. So do not put a full stop mark after the unit of any physical quantity. The fifth convention is that the unit of physical quantity in the numerator and denominator should be written as 1:. The unit of physical quantity in numerator and denominator should be written as 1:. Like, should be written as 1:, means meter per second square. You can write it either as meter second raised to minus 2. See here, a space is introduced. Or you do not write meter per second square as meter per second per second. You write it as what? 1:. So whenever you are writing the unit of physical quantity in numerator and denominator, you should always write it as what? 1:, that is meter per second square can be written as meter second raised to minus 2, but not as meter per second per second. The next one, use of combination of unit and symbol for unit is avoided. While writing the unit, most of you were writing it in this manner. Joule, Joule, per kg per degree Kelvin, means you are using what? Unit as well as symbol for writing the unit of some physical quantity. But avoid writing the unit of physical quantity as a combination of symbol and that unit. You must write it like J per kg per degree Kelvin. Means you always use either full symbols for different physical quantities, or you will write the unit in full, that is joule per kilogram per degree Kelvin. So avoid writing the combination of what? Unit and its symbol at a time. A prefix, see here, 1 millisecond, you know that second is a unit of time. Then you can add a prefix. A prefix symbol is used before the symbol. Here, what is the prefix? Milli. Milli means 10 to the power minus 3. So 1 millisecond means 10 to the power minus 3 second. 1 microsecond means 10 to the power minus 6 second. 1 nanosecond means 10 to the power minus 9 second. 1 picosecond means 10 to the power minus 12 millisecond. So in this way, you can make use of prefix symbol whenever the symbols were written for a unit. But remember, when you want to write 1 microsecond, you can write 1 microsecond equal to 10 to the power minus 6 second. But you do not write 1 millisecond. This is not the proper way of writing the SI unit. Whenever you have to write 10 to the power minus 9 second, it is only equal to 1 nanosecond, but do not write it as 1 micromillisecond. That is not the proper way of writing the SI unit. And at last, that whenever you were writing the unit like meter per second, so it can be written as meter second inverse or meter second inverse. But here remember, either a space is introduced or a hyphen mark is introduced while indicating multiplication of 2 units. So you remember these sign conventions when you are using SI units.